You're watching Tech Talk in affiliation with Tech for Text. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live Thursdays at 8 p.m. London time, and we will be streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can listen to our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google, TuneIn, and others. And now, let's talk Tech Talk.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Tech Talk. This is a live show. Today we're going to be talking about distribution and basically the goods and the bads. So what do they do good and what do they do bad? So obviously make sure you comment and let us know. But first of all, if you can comment, let us know if you can hear and see us. I'm Phil Griffiths. This is the boss.
I was the boss. I'm Jenny.
Yeah.
And let's start the show.
There we go then. Maybe you want to tell everyone why you're not the boss anymore.
Oh, I was going to do that later on in something. So.
And before anyone panics, no, we haven't sold out, and no one's bought us out or anything like that. It's nothing like that. So they couldn't give us enough money to do that. So, no. Right, okay. So, first of all, if you are a Facebook user, I normally say click the link, what says chat, restream, all this blah 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 blah. Unfortunately, it's not working at the moment due to Facebook issues. We had this issues last week. So if you are a Facebook user and you're showing us Facebook user, make sure when you comment, just put your name at the end, just like Trish did Target Components, who says evening everyone. So so we're going to be talking about distribution tonight. We can't talk bad about Target because Trish is listening. Or can we talk even more because she's listening? There we go. So again, guys, if you've got any comments you want to talk about, any distributors or anything like that, again, try and keep the names out of it because we don't want like bullying and people obviously going back and forth. We want this more of a general thing. So if you think the pricing's wrong or they need to do this, that, and the other, it's more like that. Obviously, you can say stories of what's happened or how certain ones have helped you, but try and keep the names out if possible. If it's a good thing, okay, that's okay doing that, but we don't really want to slate off distributors on the show. It's not what we're about.
We also don't want to make it the phrase this certain one show as well. Yeah. So if you can keep it unbranded, that would be great.
That's it. We've also got Dan saying, evening, guys, loud and clear. So thank you very much. Restream's still not working. Yeah, Dan, it's been a pain in the language backside. We've also got John Merritt. Hi, John. And we've got Sharon from Eurosoft.
Yes.
Yeah, who do PC check. And yes, Sharon, I got your email earlier on, but I haven't had a chance to reply to you. So just in case you're chasing me up for not replying. But yeah, I'll get back to you on that tomorrow if that's okay. Right, okay, so who else we got on the show tonight? So first of all, we should have had Will Murr. Unfortunately, he's had to pull out for specific reasons. But we do have Ken, so if you want to introduce yourself, Ken, and let everyone know who you are, what you do, and if you've got any tips or stories or anything like
that. Ken from Canny Clever, retailer and business-to-business IT in Whitley Bay. Biggest tip I would give you is don't let a puppy run mad when you're trying to do your VAT return.
Good idea.
That is a good tip.
Good tip there. So that's very good. Right, let's go on to William next. So, William, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone... Sorry, someone in really loud motorbike just went past. So, William, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, what you do, and if you have got a tip or story for us.
Hi, I'm William from Build IT here in the Isle of Man. Don't really have a tip for you today, but I do have a nice little story in that... we had an old lady who come in today who bought a computer from us many months ago, and Windows had managed to update itself to the point where it didn't boot. We were able to restore it to working condition within a matter of about 15 seconds the other day for her, and she now thinks we're some sort of wizard. So there are still apparently some, people out there who don't understand tech, and we didn't charge her for the service, obviously, but You know,
That was nice.
there are still people out there that don't understand technology, and sometimes just the simplest of things can just change their world. So, you know, just look at people and treat people how you want to be treated. And
Totally agree there. I hear someone drinking water in the background, if I'm right, Ken. Yeah, so if people don't know, that's Prince in the background,
Yeah.
and Ken's got, well, he's a black lab, basically.
Yeah.
It's
He's
Ken's
the one
mascot.
in the picture up there. So,
Yeah.
Right. So moving right along, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Tech Max, and then I have an announcement. Right. Target Components have signed up their Tech Max, as well as the Target PC Build Services, Logic, Pixel, Prevo, Marvo, and Lindy. Those are the ones that have signed up for TechMax as of this week. And if you haven't signed up yet for TechMax, I encourage you get your name in the hat because the spaces are going quickly. And on to the announcement.
Well, first of all, about the Tech Max people who signed up again, that's just the people who signed up this week. We have got a lot
Yeah.
more, as you can see on the screen, including Lexar, OCPC, Techware, Thermaltake, Arctic, 3D, Norton, ISLO Online, got that one wrong. MZ Soft, Urban Factory, Recycle Your Tech, VIP, ALMO Wholesale. We've got Streamplify, Ducky, Funder X3, ISL Online, Be Quiet, Seasonic, Origin, Storage, Kingston Technology, Bugs and Bytes Computing, Spire Technology, Strong, Case King UK, Aerocool, as well as TechPoint Distribution, East Anglian Data Recovery, or EADR as they like to be known these days, and Replace Base. We also have a few influencers coming. We've got Kit Guru coming, PCR, we've got Gadget Joe. I've actually been speaking to someone today, which looks like they're going to be coming as well. I haven't checked my email since about 6 o'clock, so he's probably replied yes by now, but they should be coming as well, which will update the website for that. So again, if you haven't booked already, 21st of June, and tickets are anywhere from free to £1 or 25 quid if you want to go to the evening ticket. But if you just want to turn up throughout the day and you're going to sort your own food out, it's totally free. If you want lunch, it's just £1.
Can I do my announcement now?
Maybe.
Okay.
Let me just turn that screen off. Here we go.
Right. All right. Back to the task at hand. TFT has a new member of staff, and he will be in charge of music and testing things like speakers and all sorts because he absolutely loves music. So going forward, this member of staff will be testing out all of that. Phil, would you please turn the camera on for our music director?
I think he's having a nap at the moment,
Well,
unfortunately.
That's
There you
all
go.
right. If you can't see, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Bond, our 9-week-old black lab. Bond has asked me to shout out to Prince and Duke at Canny Clever for him.
Yeah. If you didn't realise, there's that black blob just in the centre there, which we're not going to disturb him because we don't want him crying all the way through. He's doing pretty well, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he is.
So there we go. But if he does wake up, we'll
he
we'll
might-
flash up the camera
Yeah.
again for you. So, but there we go. So, what was this show about? Pets, was it? No. Oh, distribution, weren't it? That was it. So, no, we'll talk about pets. I think we should do that. We should have a show about pets one of the days.
Yeah.
So what's your pet? Or something along that
Pet
line.
peeves.
So,
might be difficult to get my fish on stream.
Well, we've got fish too.
yeah, not in the office. So, what
A
type of
huge
fish you got, William?
Platies, mollies, guppies, swordtails, corridoras, and I've got some shrimp.
We've got
nice one.
Portosias and what's the one that Clarkson is?
Oh, he's a common pleco.
Yeah.
So frontosias are about about 8 to 12 inches. They're quite big fish, to be honest. We've had them about 10, 15 years, haven't we, some of them? So, but yeah. Anyway, back onto the topic before we get distracted yet again, because we were talking for half an hour before the show started all about pets and nothing else. So we've had cats on, we've had dogs on. The only thing we haven't had is parrots, I think. But here we go. So let's get on to the main topic. But first of all, let's quickly go through the rest of the chat. So We've got David Tulip saying, good work, William. So that's good. David saying, is it a set price to exhibit? If so, how much? And do we just any potential? Right, okay. If you want to send anyone our way, David, I'm pretty sure you've got my email address and so forth. But basics is exhibition stands, and I'm happy for everyone to know this. It says it on the website. It's basically exhibition areas are 850 quid plus VAT, which is extremely low, as you'll probably know, anyone who's done events. A lot of places, like, for example, if you go to Channel Live and stuff like that, you're usually looking at 10 grand for like a 2 meter square.
The more you buy, you get a price break for the more you buy. So if you had two, it's, what is it, 1,600 or something like that?
Yeah, obviously it works out cheaper the more you have. So.
But if you know of someone that wants the stand, send them to info@techfortex.co.uk. And I will definitely send them a promo out.
Yeah, no, that should be good. I hope you're doing well as well, David. It's been a while since we've had a chat. I've put the web address on there, so if you want to check out the TechMax website as well as the email address, so you can easily click on that on there. Let me just change the colour of that just so it pops out a little bit more, because I think the pink's a little bit, or purple's a little bit. There you go. That should pop a little bit better. Right. Okay. So one thing I need to announce before we go any further, obviously, if you've been watching, you know about it already, but we've got the Tech Awards as well. They are coming up. Nominations are open. So if you do want to nominate yourself or someone else, you can do. So this is for any techs, vendors, distributors. There's around 21 awards, if I remember right. There we go. Ken's coughing up and distracting me now. There we go. So basically, you got the Tech Awards there. So 21st of June, the finals are, but you got nominations at the moment. They'll go on to the 22nd of February. Then the voting starts. Of anyone who's been nominated, you only need one nomination to get to the voting round. You get a nice little bit of artwork and everything like that as well. You can send to your press and so forth. So it's worth just getting yourself nominated, if nothing else.
And then remember, you can nominate yourself.
Yeah, as I
said. Don't just sit around waiting for someone to nominate you. If you think that you're worthy, nominate yourself. You got to be in it to win it.
Exactly. So nominations will just get you through to the voting, and then it's down to everyone. Yep. Last year we had something, was it about 5,700 votes? I think it was altogether in the voting stage. So there was a lot. So at this point, it's just nominations. You don't need to nominate yourself 100 times, because it doesn't matter. You only need one to get to the next round. Okay, and then that's when it counts. And the final is at the TechMax event. And just to give you a rough idea, you've got Best in Store display there as well. For an award, you've got Best Repair Bench. Let's go back to the front page because it's gone all the way to the last. You've got Vendor Awards, so Best Vendor Reps. You've got Components, Peripherals, Best Networking, Outsource, Best Refurbished Tech, Best Distributor Websites, and then you've got Tech Awards, so for Best Online Store, Community Expert, and so forth. So there's quite a few there. Again, totally free to nominate yourself. There's no cost at all to actually win an award. And if you can't make it to the TechMax for the final, if you do get through to the final, then there is... Well, you don't have to turn up to the actual event to actually win, and that was obvious last year. There was a couple of people who got their rewards picked up by other people because they couldn't make it. But there we go. Right, okay, enough of me waffling. Let's get on to the topic. Is there any more chat we need to mention before we go any further? So let's have a look. So we got from Inverness Computers, evening. And we've got send any potentials. David says, yeah, we've got that far. Let's have a look. I'll have a pet show, and Dan's going to bring his Rottweiler on.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
Dan, what I've been telling you about calling your partner a Rottweiler, no? Yeah, I'm kidding. But there we go. So that's brilliant. So we've also got, it looks like Alison from EADR in Norfolk. She's late today. Well, that's not all good, Alison. We'll charge you extra for next year's TechMax exhibition. And we've got Sharon saying, a show with how kids and grandkids help too. They have been several super posts from the TFT followers encouraging kids. Yeah, it's probably a good idea, a kids show. We'll have to note that one down. Good
My
idea.
favorite post in the TFT chat of all time was the little boy pointing out the parts of the motherboard. And he said, and this is the memories. And he got down to the capacitors. And he said, and this is the capacities. And I thought, oh,
Whose
this
kid
is
was
just...
that? Was it Raheem's?
No, it wasn't Raheem's. It was
Who was it? It was someone doing motherboard.
gosh, I know him.
Yeah, it's been a
This
while.
little red-headed boy. I remember that. Little red-headed boy.
It's on tip of my tongue trying to remember
He's
it, wasn't
precious.
it? Right, okay, so we've got Peter watching from Scan Station Computers as well. Well, let's get on with the show. So I'm going to come to you first, Ken, and you can basically tell us either a story or something you wish distributors did or don't do, or something basically on with the topic of today, which is obviously where we're basically grading how well they do. So what information have you got for us?
I kind of like distributors that use the personal touch, if you like. The ones that learn when to ring you, when not to ring you, not to harass you on the phone. And there's some distributors ring me once a day, which annoys the hell out of us because I've got, we've all got businesses to run, we've all got call outs to do. The good ones learn how to deal with you. They will, some of the ones we use, we'll have a catch up call once a fortnight. And there's one of the big ones we use. I'll do a video call once a month on my phone. We'll walk around the shop. They'll point out what they've got that could fill a gap. I'll tell them what I'm short on stock wise. They'll send it, and that's how we do it. It's just learning how to interact rather than sending emails and then carbon copying in most of your customer base. That's happened a few times to us in the last few months. I'll not mention the distributor involved there. It's a case of we've had lots sending us emails, then they ring, then they go on LinkedIn and try to follow you on there. I've had numerous distributors and other potential suppliers trying to follow me on Facebook or connect to us on Facebook. My personal Facebook account is personal. It's exactly that. I think it's just a case of distributors need to learn how to deal with people.
Mm-hmm. I think sometimes
there's a fine line between stalking and meeting your quota.
Need to set a boundary sometimes. I think is probably the best way of putting that. It's quite hard because some people want the distributors calling them all the time to let them know what's new and stuff, and then other people just don't want to hear from them.
When we had the store, it was usually just me in there, and Phil was on call outs. And if I had a queue of people that I'm trying to wait on, and I had a distributor calling me trying to sell something, that would probably put me in the worst mood that you could probably ever imagine, because I'm trying to deal with a bunch of people ranging from happy smiley to Mr. Grumpy Face, and anything in between, children swinging off the vines and all sorts. And I just finally told my distributors, look, if you think I might like it, pop me an email over. Otherwise, I will put my basket through as per norm and check out the specials on the website.
I think a lot of it is it's a case of they need to know whether you're a one-man band, two-man band. If you're a one-man band, leave you alone because you're busy. If you've got a whole office team and a whole admin team, then fair do, send an email or ring.
Yeah.
But it's know your customer.
If you're a one-man band as well, the chances that you're going to need new stuff every single day is very unlikely. You're probably going to do one order a week or a bulk order unless you're getting like something special, someone's wanting something. So yeah, totally agree with you there. I do have one distributor who messages me on Skype every single day asking me if I want to buy components and stuff from the store. I've give up telling them we don't have a store anymore. We haven't had it for 18 months. But every single day, it's like, oh, God. If I didn't speak to that person regarding TechMax for certain things and so forth as well, I think they just basically just copy and paste the same thing to everyone on the Skype contact and just keep sending it. And it's gets a little bit annoying, to be honest with you. But it's like, no, I don't need any USB pens. No, I don't need any more RAM. I don't need any new graphics cards, the super ones or whatever the ones they are, what coming out today.
But saying that, I do like it when I go to contact a distributor and they are there for me. And I don't mean that I've got to go through 1,000 hoops to get to them, that they are there picking up the phone, answering the phone, saying, how can I help you? Or even a Skype message that I can say, right, hello, Dan. What do you know for me? Or hello, Hits, or hello, Sean. Anybody I'm dealing with, when those people are there for me, it really counts.
That's it. Totally. I must agree with you there on that one. So, right, let's move on to William. So, William, have you got any stories or things you like or dislike about the way distributors do things?
Yeah, so for me, obviously, I am a one-man band, but we predominantly focus on gaming PCs, as you can probably tell by some of the graphics cards behind us. When we were first starting out in the industry, we found the distributors, very welcoming, but also helped us build the relationships with the brands initially, because we don't have that depth of contacts that they have. So when we're negotiating minimum order quantities on GPUs, for instance, during the lockdowns, when they were all under allocation, they were incredibly helpful at getting us in the door with those brands, building the relationship, giving us the contacts we needed to make our business thrive when others around us effectively couldn't. So we are forever thankful to those distributors who helped us initially get going, get started up and build those contacts. And that's something that distribution does very well. I think they are very open to getting you in the door with the big brands, and they can help your business grow through those contacts.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely good points there. Chat, you're quiet tonight. Well, give us some feedback. Let us know is there any specific distributors, without naming them, what do things wrong or right. It can be either way. We're grading the papers basically today. So if you think that distributor ABC is really good at customer service, or the returns policies are really good or bad, let us know. Obviously, we're here to obviously talk to you guys. So if you let us know, so you are a bit quieter than normal, but if you want to chat, let us know and go from there. And even if some distributors who are watching, because we know there's at least one of them there, and well, two actually, I know what are watching for definite there, actually three now. If they have got any comments on the subject, feel free. We don't obviously stop you talking. You can say whatever you want, pretty much, obviously within reason. But right, I'm going to go on to my first complaint. Is websites, and we actually, I think even William spoke about websites last week as well. The amount of distributors which either A, don't have a website where you can actually purchase stuff on. So, for example, certain distributors sell certain brands, products, and so forth, and some of them may only sell 2 or 3 different brands. And you can't purchase anything on the website. The website's just there to say, give us a call. And then when you give them a call, you can't get hold of them. And when you're a one-man band, so probably someone like William, or a bit like we were, it was just the two of us, and the customer comes in and says, I need something, you need to go on that website, be able to see what the price is and buy it straight away. Yes. It's all right having an account manager, but if you can't get hold of them, and then they call you back 2 hours later, ask you what you want. Well, it's a bit late now. The customer's gone and buggered off somewhere else. Or you decided, right, that part, I couldn't get it from you. I had to buy it from somewhere else, which may have been more expensive, or may have been a retailer rather than a distributor, or pushed them to something completely different. So for distributors, no matter how small you are or big, not having a website is, to me, it's a crime, to be honest with you, if you want an independence. Yeah, well, that's usually what it is. It's got a landing page, but no store.
And also, the ones that do have the web page, a piece of a web page, and the product description is almost nil.
Yeah.
So you have to take guessworks into what this does and what it's compatible with, and so forth and so on. And if you're not savvy, like Phil and myself, and see somebody working for us, they might buy the wrong processor or graphics card or whatnot if they don't have enough description. So I think that it never fails to annoy me when someone doesn't put a good enough description and spec.
Yeah, definitely. That doesn't help, or they just say this is the range we got, and they don't tell you what specific products they've got. Again, I know one or two of the distributors which sort of covered what I'm saying here are in the process of doing stuff, but some of these distributors have been around for 20, excuse me, bloody years, and you've had 20 years to do it. Come on now, especially the ones who are only selling 3 different brands. It doesn't take much to get a small website up and running. I bet you near enough anyone in chat knows how to sign up for Wix or something else like that and get a small web store up and running in 5 minutes, or Shopify or whatever it
Used
is.
to have one on the chips page.
Yeah, we managed to deal with one, just the two of us. We had our own web store. It wasn't difficult to do. So if you've got the numbers in front of you, you know how much you got in stock and what products you got and what prices you bought it from. You can easily put that into a website.
As they
that's
say
another one.
on Trailer Park Boys, it's not rocket appliances in grade 10.
And I think there's a few websites out there which the functionalities are limited. There's a few which have brought websites out recently. I think me and William were talking about, and they're pretty shocking. Some of the search terms you'll type in, and it'll come up with absolutely everything under the sun. So you want a USB pen, it looks for, or no, make it more different. So if you type in DDR5 RAM, it'll pick up DDR5 RAM, every single motherboard what supports DDR5 as well. Everything what's got the word DDR or RAM in it, it will bring up on the search in no particular order. And then some of them just don't have the options of filtering these things either. So again, we're in the tech field, guys. You're selling tech. Do techs. These things have to be right. You don't see PC World or Currys or whatever they want to call themselves these days doing this, or any of the big retailers. And some of you guys, no offense, I know you're making millions every year. Okay, millions. I see your profit and so forth. It's pretty easy to see for limited companies. And some of you even write press releases every year. Yeah, we've had a record year to make an extra 10 million or whatever it is. Well, spend some of that on your website, and I'm pretty sure it won't cost you 10 million.
Following up on that, refining the search, nothing more annoying than when you need a processor and you want to go in and narrow it down by what socket, and you can't do it. You've got to go through every processor that they stock, whether it be AMD or Intel, and you can't go into the socket and find out what it is that they have that you need. And oh gosh, I absolutely just want to just scream when that happens.
I think last week I was contacted by what I would call a potential distributor. I wouldn't call them a distributor at the minute. They're more of an e-tailer, I think I would call them at the moment, who have aspirations to get into distribution for some bizarre reason. They rang us, spent a little bit of time on the phone, trying to tempt us over. And I think one of the questions on my list was, if I log into your website, can I see my trade pricing? And it was, no, you can't. It's a consumer website. And I thought, I know it's aimed at consumers, but you're trying to talk to me as a distributor. I think the term distributor needs defining. Some of these other companies who sell a lot direct to consumers, or trying to get into the distribution channel as well, and sell to independents like ourselves. I'm not inclined to buy from a potential distributor who is also selling to my customers. But going back to the website, if they can't even give us trade pricing on the fly on a website, their answer was I would have to ring and speak to an account manager.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I could build that into my process. We need prices there and then when you've got a customer in front of you.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's one thing for big stores, which are ordering things in bulk, but when you're a small store, you need 20 items. You need to get it done as quick as possible, or you might even just need one item. You don't have time to ring up your account manager for one item which is worth 20 quid to let's just say a fan or a CPU cooler, whatever it may be, for 20 quid. You don't have time to spend half an hour on the phone with him negotiating what the price is. You just want whatever, you just want it there and then, don't you?
I
So
do
yeah.
have what I call last ditch distribution, and it's not as bad as what it sounds like. Last ditch always means I'm going to stick with the people I know and work with all the time. But if I know that these people don't have what I need, I will go to this last ditch distribution who I know has it. I may have to jump through some hoops on the phone to get to the pricing, but I will use them, in a pinch.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody needs to have a last ditch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, just to let you know, and I don't know if anyone noticed me looking over here at my phone a second ago. I've just had a message from one of these distributors, what we're talking about, websites and so forth. Not saying that they are the one I'm talking about, no, just asking, are you talking about us? So this just proves that they're actually listening, okay? So, guys, if you think we're talking about you, we probably are.
You're
You might
obviously
not be,
guilty
but
if
we
you think
probably
we're
are.
talking about you.
Yeah, exactly. If you think so. Right. Before we go any further, let's go through the chat because it has warmed up a little
I'm
bit by the
agreeing
looks
with
of it.
John.
So, what was that? Sorry?
I said, I'm agreeing with what John just said.
Okay.
When I'm choosing laptops, I love that my main distributor has details like if the RAM is soldered or upgradable. Same for the SSD. The devil is in the detail for me, at least.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
definitely true. That's a definite one there. He also said something. I think I know what you're talking about with the websites. It seems nuts not to have one, and I don't buy from any disty that doesn't have one.
Yeah.
That's it. There's plenty of distributors out there are wanting to get into things,
Yeah.
and they're wondering why people don't buy from them. Well, if you don't cater for the people you're wanting to sell the stuff to, then they ain't gonna buy it. Doesn't matter how many adverts you put out there, how many different things. If you don't cater for the basic needs, which near enough everyone said they need a website before they'll buy it, and these are all independents, whether they're small or large. Ken's got quite a large store. Williams obviously aiming at the gaming market and so forth. We had a small busy store, shall we say.
Yeah.
We're exactly the same. We didn't have time to ring you
But
guys
to
up.
me, also not having a website or one that you can see what is sold with
Mm-hmm.
is about trust. How can I trust you if I don't know what your pricing is? You could be
Yeah.
sitting back there at your computer just giving me a random number. I don't know anybody out there that would, but what's to say?
You could be giving us one price, and the next person who calls up a completely different price.
Yeah, because you know that certain people have more to spend than the other, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I think it's all about transparency, really.
Yeah, you could took the words out of my mouth. Definitely. Dan says, always build a relationship with your distillery. William mentioned there about allocation with vendors, etc., etc. We are all welcome to help with that. So, yeah, Dan's experience in the field, I don't know if he wants me to say where he works at or whatever, but he does work for a distributor. I must admit, he's probably one of the better reps we've worked with over the
Absolutely.
years. So, no...
I call him Dan the man.
Yeah, exactly. So, but But the basics is obviously, yeah, we'd love to build a relationship with distributors, but the basics is you've got to get the basics right. And the first thing we need is a website. And I do know the distributor he works at does have a website because I beta tested it a couple of years ago. But but yeah, definitely there. So, and Facebook user, I think this is Trish from Target saying this. So I think it's really important to have a good relationship with your customers, but also really important to actively listen and to understand the customer's needs and wants. It's a good point there. She's saying that they want to understand, but you don't put a website. I'm not saying Target. Target's got a website, but I'm just saying some of the distributors just don't have a website. I always try and treat all my customers the same, and hopefully they leave the call happy. Okay, so there we go. So, and that is Trish at, well, it says Trish. I'm presuming it's Trish at Target. So don't get me wrong. There are good distributors out there. There are good vendors, but there's just some which I'm not saying I have issues with them as such, but they just, if they're going to want to sell stuff to people, they need to make it easy for people to buy it.
I call them the bang your head distributor because they make you want to bang your head on a brick wall.
So, especially this day and age for independents, they can go onto Amazon and buy something in 5 seconds.
And get next day delivery.
And the search terms will work. The filters will generally work.
Yep.
And the product's not listed on different things. So, for example, you'll go on some of the filters. It'll say, "Oh, do you want to search for DDR5 memory?" And then it'll be DDR5/4 or something daft. And it's like, well, there's no such thing as DDR5/4. And there's things like that. It's like the filters just don't add up and work.
You know what my favorite filter is when you can refine it down to the T, like in memory. Let's just say DDR5, and then you can refine it down to the speed you want, even.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's really the one that sizzles my bacon right there. Oh.
Yeah. So you can, I'm going to say, filtering it to the speed, that's one thing. That's okay.
Yeah.
But the catch is, and then you'll go and find something in that category which shouldn't be in that category. But then you might buy it and you go, that it is something when it's not, and so forth. So, which I've had that a few times over the years, I must admit, where we've ordered something thinking it was something and we got it, and then it's like, that's not what I ordered. And then you look on the website and on your invoice and you think, oh, that is what I ordered. But then you go on the website and found it's under the wrong category or something like that. Wrong speed, wrong type. It was a SO DIM rather than a normal DIM or something along that lines.
What annoys me though at distribution websites is when they put peripherals under components and vice versa on the website, and consumables under components. All right, I just got to tell you something. No offense, but paper and inks should be consumables. They are not peripherals. Please get it right. I'm not going to say who I'm talking to, but please get that right. Those are consumables, and it's because we consume them.
I think John hit the nail on the head. It's detail.
But yeah, attention to detail. I think sometimes they just don't have the category on the system. So they go, oh, we don't have a category to put this under. We'll just stick it under that bit.
That's annoying, though.
Yeah, especially as if anyone's got a website where they get feeds as well. So if you've got feeds coming from this distributor's website and the stuff is wrong, then it's wrong on your website, and then you're mis-selling stuff to your customers.
And you look like a numpty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We look like
we've had that exact issue where we get feeds from 3 different distributors. They all deal with us, so they know who they are. And sometimes you'll get a feed where it says in the short description it's an i7 laptop, and you actually look at the long description and it's an i5 laptop, and you're like, well, it can't be both. So clearly somebody's fumbled and dropped the ball there. But it's a case of they're obviously not reviewing these feeds consistently. They're obviously just working, it's automated, and nobody's reviewing every single line. And we appreciate there's 3,500, 4,000 lines on some of these feeds that we're getting. But if we end up having that automated feed into our web stores, the other day I found 34 errors in one import, just on one feed. And that was like, well, there's 3,500 items, but if 34 of them are wrong and my customer buys one of those, I'm going to have to credit them. If that's a £600 laptop, I'm out £600.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And trying to get that back from the
And
distributor might be a
to me,
bit of a pain.
a detail and attention to detail, it's everything. Consistency with keeping things in order. I used to work somewhere outside the IT industry where we sold candy goods, and we had one person in charge of web sales, and her sole job was to comb the website for errors.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. And she was really good at this. She would comb the website and see if there was any kind of error or potential way to misinterpret what was for sale.
Yeah.
And she would go through there at least once a day and comb the website. And it was a very good return on investment hiring her, because during the Christmas season, when you're trying to make sales of this kind of product, you don't need return goods. No one wants that. So yeah, I would implore distribution to hire someone whose job is to look over the website for error.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of them have IT things. I think that, again, a lot of them say, "Yeah, but we've got 34,000 items." Yeah, but you're not adding them all to the system at the same
Yeah.
time. You're only probably getting 10 of these items in a day, or 100 or whatever. You should be checking each one you get in new. It's as simple as that. But yeah, totally agree there. So let me just go over something. I'm going to post the link in chat. Obviously, only people who are members of the Tech for Tech's Facebook community will be able to see this. But we did a survey a few weeks ago. It was on let's have a look, the 3rd of January. We had about 84, I think it was, 84 votes on there. We basically said, what do distributors to do better in 2024? Number one, I think we all know what number one's going to be. Better pricing. So 55% of the votes is better pricing. In comparison to what is another thing, but that's the number one thing. Joint second place was marketing support. So posters, artwork, point of sales, demo things. This is something what comes up every time we do a survey like this, and it doesn't seem to really get that much better. Others, here's some digital artwork to put on your social media. You can get that anywhere.
Or here's some antivirus leaflets that so-and-so left me.
Yeah.
I'll send some of those over.
Here's some Bulgard or Norton pens, what we've got, or something along that lines. Really going to help you. It's really going to help you sell the product.
But those are more for us to use behind the counter.
You say that. I mean, we've got sent a load of stuff for one of our exhibition shows, and now we've got the surplus. So we're using it for community events when we go to the schools to do stuff with the community kids in the high schools, or we do STEM Fest, or we do a careers fair. We take that excess merch to those shows, and people get to see the brand. So it's exposure, not just for that one event. It's the 6 months following.
Exactly.
It's kept me in office supplies now for a couple of years. So
yeah, exactly. So we had a draw full at one point. Third place, and I've seen this one become more evident over as the years have gone by, as more and more people have started shopping at Amazon and online stores. And the third or joint second most common thing what people have voted for is better return policies. Again, most things you buy on Amazon, if not everything, you can basically just go on there and say, I don't want it. As long as it's obviously unwrapped and so forth. And even sometimes
out of the wrapper.
Yeah, and even if it is damaged or whatnot, or you've used it, it's basically just, we'll come and pick it up, and here's your refund however many days later, and that's it. No, pretty much no questions asked. I had to do it with a turntable I used a few weeks ago where it it worked fine for 2 weeks, and it was like, oh, okay. Do you want a refund or another one? Oh, yeah, there we go. If I was to do that for a distributor, they'd have to return it, they'd have to test it, check it, and all this, that, and the other before you get your refund. And some of them, I know from experience, take 2, 3, 4 weeks to test these things. And if you've got something for a customer, do you really think the customer's going to wait 4 weeks?
Nope.
No.
I wish that distribution could be like when you order clothes online. I have this specific store that I'm thinking about, and I'm not going to say the name. I ordered a pair of trousers to wear to work. They did not fit me correctly, and I sent them back. Within 5 days, I was credited to my account. They didn't ask any questions. All I had to do was say why I was returning it and sorted it out. And the tags were left on and everything, and put it back in the original bag. They even arranged collection for free. Man, that right there is the way to go when you can
Yep.
do something like
I
that.
think distributors can learn a lot from like the retail industry. Like you say, catalogs that do free collection, they'll
Yeah.
often cut you a credit note as soon as the courier's actually collected it from you.
Yes.
So that it's back in your account to spend for store credit, or it's back on your card within 3 days.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, the way that the RMA is handled, sometimes we've sent stuff back that's been faulty, but they don't tell us, yes, it was definitely faulty, or we've received it in our warehouse, you'll get the credit within X days. I mean, I'm still chasing a headset that we returned 3 weeks ago, and I've been chasing and just told, sorry, the CS team is off at the moment for 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's another one right there. That since COVID hit, it seems that we have a lot of holidays and breaks and staff not showing up to work as they used to. And
It seems, from what I've heard, to be worse than it used to be.
yeah,
I don't like a lot of the return policies because the amount of times we've had to do it where we've got something, let's just say it was a laptop from somewhere, and we've sold it to the customer, and then suddenly it's faulty. We know it's faulty. We're technicians, for God's sake. We know what's wrong with it. You need to sort it out, distributor. You send it back to them, and it's like, oh, okay, can we get a replacement? Oh, no, we've got to test this one first, or we're going to charge you double for it. So I'm out of pocket. We don't know if we're going to get the money back, and in that time, we have to go out and buy the customer a new laptop to replace it. So we've basically bought it twice, maybe even 3 times. And the amount of times I've done that in the past, it's just gone.
yeah.
I'm not letting the customer wait 3 weeks to figure out what's going on. They bought a laptop. It's only got a 12-month warranty. A month of that's going to run out by the time they get a new
in
one.
the meanwhile, they may not get the same color they wanted, or even brand.
Yeah.
You have to hunt them down something equal or better, and that's not always easy to do.
Yeah, especially if it's something unique.
Yes.
And also on return policies, having to return stuff, and I'll go on about this till the day I die, to the manufacturer or the vendor rather than the distributor to get your refund.
Hate it.
Absolutely
Worst thing in the world.
hate it. And you have to, let's just say you get a hard drive from a specific company distributor, and then you have to return it to the vendor. And that vendor's like, oh, yeah, you've got to sign all this, create an account and all this to get the return policy done. And again, you send it off, and do you hear anything? It could be how long while your customer's sitting there. I haven't got a computer because my hard drive, solid state drive, has failed or whatever.
I do kind of think that some of the distributors do need to improve on the returns. I mean, some distributors are concerned that independents, people like us, are going to be buying on Amazon or elsewhere. But when it comes to getting stock and returning it, things like that, those other outlets make it so easy.
Yeah.
They really do.
I'd prefer to use a proper distributor because I know I can get the technical support. I know I can get in touch with the vendors directly through them, but it needs to be easy. I know some of them do that really well, so I'll not cause anybody concern over that one, but some of them don't. The ones that some of the examples you've highlighted, or you've got to send it direct to the vendor, You've got to jump through 16 hoops before you can get your money back. And I've had instances with one distributor, all good, I've got to add. I've had an issue, rang them up, said, look, customer expecting the machine tomorrow. And they've literally shipped one there and then for us without waiting for me to get the part back to them. That's the sort of service that we need. Not having to wait 3-4 weeks. I mean, yes, I mean, even if they charge it to a credit account in the meantime, get the product to her, we can sell it. Because if we lose that end user customer, we'll hold that against the distributor for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely.
We'll never forget it.
Exactly. I'm going to say
One bad mark can make the difference in us using distribution again.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's all. I know I get it all the time. People will message me and say, I've got a problem with this distributor. They're not refunding me. I know what the issue is, or whatever. It's not my place to step in, but sometimes I have to basically point them in the right direction and just say, hey, blah, 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 at blah, blah, blah. I'm having so and so contact me saying they're having issues. Can you please sort it? Okay, it's not my place to fix it. I don't care what the resolution is, but it's for you guys to sort out. They shouldn't be contacting me.
And we both know that no matter how flat you make the pancake, there's two sides to the story of why they're not sorting it out. And we always have the one that wants to look like the angel and everything in the story. But also, I do not like the way that distribution, falling back on, treats us like we don't know what we're talking about. I had a motherboard come in faulty one time years ago, and I don't even remember who I bought it off. But they said, well, we'll have to test it and everything. And if we find it faulty, then we will credit your account, blah, blah, blah. And I said, right, I know it's faulty because I've done every test on it known to mankind.
And there's flames coming out of it.
Well, there will be when I get finished with the pyro tricks. But
I actually had a AIO cooler where the actual radiator was bent to like 35 degrees.
Wow.
And they took 3 weeks to send that back to the manufacturer of the AIO to get the credit note. I was like, it's clearly bent. There's no way that's me. It's happened in transit. 3 weeks to get a credit note.
Distributors that used to put plastic cables around two cases to hold them together and post them out, no padding.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd get kicked around by the DPD man or whoever was carrying them. And you'd open it up, and the side of the case is bashed in, fans everywhere. Oh,
now, to be fair to some distributors, I know we had an issue in the chat a few months back about monitors being damaged in transit or marked in transit that were going to be for display. And certain distributors now will actually package that inside a different cardboard box for you if you request it. And they've upped their game, certainly on protecting the products that are going to be on display in the packaging. Certainly, obviously, because we're on an island, we tend to get things that can kick like American footballs.
Yeah.
And we've had to ask them to really bulk up on the packaging when they're shipping stuff to us. And they've done that no end. And we've had almost zero damaged products in the past 12 months.
Okay, that's good.
that's good.
Right, we've slated off a lot of the distributors on this show. Ken, can you think of any good things to say?
Criticism.
Yes, actually. I know we use one distributor primarily. We do have others that we use as a backup. But I would say our primary one, the amount of support we get from them is absolutely phenomenal. Yes, you have to ask for it. Yes, you build a relationship, but that's part of business. And I had a minor issue today where I was doing the VAT return, and for some reason I was missing some invoices. And rather than spend hours and hours and hours trying to type them all into Sage, I phoned them up. I asked them, can you send me a spreadsheet of all our invoices in the last quarter? with dates on, was very specific. 10 minutes later, a spreadsheet arrived, imported straight in. It took us 30 seconds to do 2 hours work. Things like that help. It's not just selling products, it's just helping us run our businesses a little bit better. So I think if distributors can help us do that, I know some of this particular one provides a custom PC builder, for instance. We can do quotes in minutes. That helps us do other things. We can sell more product.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to say sometimes it's the added extras, like that distributor you're speaking about, the amount of extras they do rather than just basically shipping you a product. They give you the tools to help you actually sell them. Oh, sounds like someone's
The boss
woken
is
up.
awake.
Yeah, someone's woken up.
I thought
Lucky,
it was
actually.
mine upstairs.
So, but there we go. So yeah, so some of the other things what
Put
came
his
up.
camera on. Actually, I'll go.
Are you going to get him, are you?
I'll
Okay,
get
let me
him.
talk about stuff. Let's have a look. So, yeah, on that survey we did, loyalty programs came up quite high. Quite a few people wanted loyalty programs. I'm not sure how that will work with distributors. If you get points and a free cup of coffee once a month or something. I don't know. And websites came in at fourth, which obviously corresponds to what we were on about a few minutes ago. So you can probably see here, this is our
This is our boss man.
little boss. I'd
You
watch.
cannot have my Coke.
There we go. So for anyone who can't see him, let's just enlarge the screen. There we go. And there's a chat right in the way. There we go. All right, little. There we go. So that's Bond. If you don't know, so he's the new director in the company. So
Yeah,
and
the
the new
director
boss.
of music.
There we go.
He's trying to talk on the microphone.
There we go. Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. There we go. Right, guys. Anyone else in the chat got anything else you want to add about distributors, vendors, anything along that lines? Whether it's good, bad, if it's to do with deliveries, education, obviously being able to buy online, which we've already spoke about, customizable products or something along that lines. Anything anyone wants to add before the end of the show? I'm going to go on to William now. Have you got anything else you want to go say, William? Anything good or more bad if you want?
So certain distributors are doing this already, but I'd like to see everyone do this. Is have an ETA for products when they're due back in stock. Certain distributors, they're absolutely nailing it. It means that you can see in 2 days X processors that I need 10 of are going to be in stock. Perfect. I know the other distributors 4 days behind them. I know where I can get it first. If you don't tell me when you're getting products in, I can't buy them from you, is the simple short of it.
Yeah, good point there. Maybe even have some sort of pre-order scheme as well, possibly for certain products, and that way you can basically plan and have a launch day of your own. It's all right. The distributor saying, "Yay, we've got these things in," but you don't know if you can get hold of them, where from, how much. I know sometimes places, let's say Nvidia and stuff, their price, and sometimes they don't give pricing out to the last minute and so forth. But again, it's something what people need to do for their stores or the selling online. They need to promote these things, and if they don't know, you can't promote it. It's as simple as that, and give them the marketing materials to promote it as well. So. Especially if it's a brand or a make or whatever, which has never been used before, then we need posters to try and sell this brand. If no one's heard of brand ABCD before, then they're not going to buy it. That, especially your customers, it doesn't matter how much you tell them. It looks like we're turning into the pet show now, by the looks of it. But there we go. Let me quickly put William on as well. So
Look at the kitty.
there we go. So I'm not sure when we were turned into a pet show, but it looks like this is going to be a regular occurrence.
I just wondered what the tail wagging in the corner of the screen might have been distracting. So
there we go. So
Hello, Prince.
and there's Prince flat out on the floor.
Faces idol.
There we go. Right. Okay, guys. Is there anything else you would like to add, Ken or William?
I think one of the things I'd like distributors to do is to help us with training, particularly sales training, even if it was based on Teams, Skype, or some other online platform. doesn't need to be in person. But if they can train us to sell their products more, then we sell more, they sell more. Everybody's happy.
Okay, sounds pretty good. What about yourself, Will? Or William, should I say?
Yeah, I think initially the onboarding process with each distributor is pretty solid, but the ongoing support is where we seem to be lacking as independents. Like Ken was saying, not only with training and marketing materials, but just also with information. If they can get marketing materials to us about new product releases or ETAs or when those products are launching, we can get ahead of the game in advertising to our customers, because it takes days for feeds to get to the top of algorithms, as you know. So we need to be ahead of our competitors hitting that space. We need to be proactive in marketing to our customers, not reactive. So the more that they can help us in marketing, in promotion, in product placement, the more we can sell, and it just benefits everyone.
Okay, yep, definitely there. So let's have a quick go through the chat just to see if anyone else. So Dan says he's not a fan of being live. I'm presuming you're on about Bond. Bond, what sort of music does he like? Well, he's been watching Dog TV, and it's sort of a classical type music, and with lots of with lots of sheep and deer and all sorts going on. It's on YouTube anyway. It's like 10 hours and 24-hour streams and stuff like that. But he likes that sort of stuff. And we've got Gadget Joe. You've right at the end, Gadget. It's going to be, we're doing all right. No problems here. If no one's aware of Gadget Joe, make sure you check out his YouTube channel. Because he's actually going to be one of the influencers, along with Kit Guru, PCR Magazine or online or whatever they call themselves these days, who are actually going to be covering the TechMax event. And we do have a few others as well who will be joining as well once we get confirmations. Right, I think we're going to call it there before the missus makes me crazy, and the dog makes me crazy as well, because I'm struggling concentrating, and then you guys are probably hearing clicking all over the place. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you, Ken. Thank you again, William, for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you all on. And obviously, thank you for everyone who's taken part in the chat tonight. And sorry to all those distributors who are going to be giving me a call tomorrow swearing at me. And they're probably not swearing. But I have a feeling I've had a few messages on top of that one I already mentioned earlier. So sorry about the pinging. I'm going to leave it there, guys, before we go even crazier. That's the problem with having a dog, unfortunately. What's a puppy? So, right, I'm going to leave you all with this, and we'll see you all next Thursday. I think the show's about pricing, so if anyone's interested, let us know. So I'll see you all then. Thanks again, guys. See you all next week.